Fire.
How did you tour with Chris, London?
And then also before I forget, because they was moving so fast with it, but as I mentioned, thanks to because Ocean, when I think my first time doing the improv was with him, Tony Baker, I think. So shout out to you for that, man, because y'all jumped in, but it was moving so fast. But as far as this is early on too,
right?
So maybe shout out to him.
I got not like that, but I got Tony his first gigs here too, like
Baker.
Baker, and because it was me, Clayton Thompson, another comic,
Clayton Thomas.
Clayton Thomas. I was about to say Thompson, but me and Clayton, Maximini, and some other comic, and then Tony Baker. We all went on the road together. I didn't know Tony Baker from nothing. None of us knew Tony Baker. So as like a fraternity first coming on, we was like, yeah, let Tony go up first. Take the bullet. Man, Tony went up there destroying.
Yeah.
We was like, who the fuck is this?
Yeah. Yep.
He's just going up there destroying in the next show. We was like, man, let him, because we only gave him like 5-7 minutes, because we was like, we don't know who it is. He on our show. I was like, it's next show. We was like, bro. I was like, I'll host.
Right.
Let him go up longer. Destroyed him when he got to LA. I was like, man. I'm like, hey, man, you got to come to here. Here's the spot. Is it?
Tony been a beast, bro.
A beast.
Yeah.
What you was about to say?
So and shout out to him. Shout out to Tony Rock. Tony Rock let me jump on his show. I'm mentioning this so that this would be one of those clips that I can repost of Tony and everything like that. But he gave me I think it was me, you, and Tony Rock on something early on. But the fact, I think he was hosting. I think he was hosting. Tony was doing a set. Let me go up and do 5 minutes. Then after set, let me come back and get another 5 minutes. And that's just early on love, because everybody, it's very cliquish, but it's cool when people, let you be a part of that comedy fraternity thing. As far as the tour with Chris Tucker, basically what happened was I was at the improv. It was Brandon Lewis' first time doing D-Ray's night. That is a room. That's a graduating room. So it is. You got to kind of and this is when Spike was running it. Mm-hmm. So he was the gatekeeper that night. So I had done it already a few times, and so I went up there to support Brandon Lewis. So basically, after Brandon Lewis said, I wasn't hanging around. I was about to leave. Spike said, "Man, where you going?" I said, "Well, I'm not getting up. I just came to support Brandon." He said, "Man, you always leaving. You need to hang out." I said, "I don't really be hanging out like that." And then I tried to leave again. He said, "Listen, man, Chris on the way." And I was like, "Well, I met him at the J Spot Comedy Club in Inglewood. Shout out to Jay Anthony." I said, I met him already, so I'm not really. So I tried to leave like 3 times. And then I was standing in the back of the club. I'm seeing Chris. And then D-Ray said, "Hey, has he seen your set?" I said, "No, he ain't seen it." He said, You should say something." I said, "Well, I'm not going to yell. Just, he's doing this. He's working out." And I sat against the wall. And then D-Ray said, in the middle, Chris said, he's like, "Yo, have you seen London?" And Chris was like, "No, I haven't seen him."
He's on stage?
Chris is on stage.
Okay.
D-Ray's in the middle aisle just talking because it's the D-Ray room.
It's a room.
So D-Ray walks over, grabs me by the arm, walks me to the stage, gives me a little shove. I do a slight trip and get up there. And then Chris said, "Yo, man, go ahead." I do like my 5 minutes. And, that included like an impersonation of him or something, and the Denzel thing. And we spoke after the show. We exchanged numbers, and that was it. A couple of days later, somebody said, "Man, I think I asked him dates." And he told me, "Man, I was calling around, hearing what was said about you. People say, you're funny and you cool." So, and then we did like something in Chicago, and then we wound up touring for like 3 years.
Look at God,
it was solid. It was really solid because also too, what I think brought that about was I was feeling like I was ready for a tour, but in my mind I was thinking college tour, because this is when was a NACA. That was heavy. I remember Sydney was torn. I remember D-Lay just always seemed like he was gone.
Ron G was on that tough.
It was a couple casts. I was like, man, I know I'm ready for whatever that is. So when that worked out, and this is where God comes in, I was thinking, and not that nothing's wrong with the college scene, but I was just thinking on a different level. But jumping with Chris was just a whole other thing for me that was good, man. So shout out to Chris, man. That was good, man.
I already knew that you was going to be like very talented and was going to do big things. When we did a podcast or something, right? We was in the valley or something like that. I remember we was in a house doing something, some sort of something, and we sat out in the car and we talked, and I would just listen to your stuff. I'm like, man, this dude.
That was a minute ago.
That was a minute ago.
I remember that.
It's a minute ago.
I'm gonna tell you when I knew you was making a right turn in your stand-up was you wasn't relying on the impressions.
Yeah.
Like you was doing other material and other characters. And I was like, he's going in the right direction. Cause I feel like sometimes if someone can do impressions, great.
That's all they do.
That's all they do. And the issue with that is you never get to know who they are.
Right.
And I hear Jim Carrey always talk about that. He was one of the greatest impressionists ever. But he realized, like, I want people to be doing Jim Carrey impressions. I don't want me to always be doing impressions of other people. I want people doing impressions of me.
You know what's to go up to tap into that, which was what's interesting is that I didn't know coming into stand-up that doing voices was a thing. Because like people in my house do them, I do them in church. So I didn't know it was like something special. I was just, when I got in, I was just doing the thing that I was doing with my friends that was cool and funny. Not necessarily because I didn't even know how to write jokes. I wasn't even thinking this is some funny material. I was like, well, this is what, at that point, that was me.
Right.
I just was, this is funny and this is geek. But, nobody was telling me what the game was, what the premise was until I spoke to David Arnold. David Arnold was the first one who said, listen, a premise and this, and they need to have a little bit of that, and you go here. So shout out to David Arnold. Shout out to King Kedar, because regardless of what people feel about King Kedar, when I went into his room.
How does people feel about it?
I don't really know. I'm not gonna baby in there. You're an incredible host. I'm not gonna go into what he's good at.
Clickbait, fuck your feelings.
He don't put it on fire, but he hand you the matches and the gas. He says, do something with that.
How are you and Billy doing?
He's good. You gotta watch him.
He hasn't gone after me yet.
It's on the way.
Look at him.
It's on the way.
You're a bad man.
Why I'm wrapping up with you too. I'm like wrapping up with Josh.
No, so what happened was I shot to King Kedar because he was the one, when I walked into his club, he was feeding my ego. You gotta watch him. He's slick.
Yeah, he's a bad man.
I don't deal with him.
And he's enjoying it. He knows what he does. He has notes.
He does this. He drops it and then he sits back. and he's wait. You don't see his hands doing it, but he's orchestrating. Please believe he's the host of this match. But no, so I walked into King Kedar's room, and King was the one. He was the one that was like, when I say mentor, I don't mean like necessarily structure and helping me write jokes, but just his energy. He was the one telling me every week, man, you a beast. And he was feeding that before I even knew what was going on. He was just encouraging me. And that did a lot for me, because even when I was doubtful of myself, he was always like, man, you got this, man. You better than this. You better. Reggie Carroll was another one who just would always be like, oh man, you got this, young such and such. You need to work. You got this. So it was a couple people along the way that has just always been cool with me, that I know sometimes other people may not care for, but with me they was cool. And when it comes to Chris, like, I got more about stuff about things outside of comedy with Chris. Just like I say, when I get into a position, I want to reach back like how Chris was with me. And that's why I would bring Brandon Lewis out with me, because I just know, man, I just know the trenches. So I'm just like, man, let me do what I can do, my version of it. I ain't making as much money as Chris, but if I can give somebody some stage time, I always try to do that.
You still with APA? Or you not with them no more?
No, because I think they split or broke up or did something weird. I don't know if they're still.
Because I'm like, man, I be still trying to think how me and you could fucking.
That's what I was gonna say. It would be great if y'all saw both of y'all.
We need to, bro. But I remember at the time, like, it was some financial shit that it didn't make sense. Like, it's like, come on. But I'm sorry. Are you on the road right now though?
No, I'm here. Well, I have a couple road dates here and there.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm here.
Well, I need to tour. I need to team up with somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like either feature for somebody or something, or a team, or do a tag team with somebody that we kind of on the same.
I think you guys should do both, just like a headlining gig.
That's what I was trying to do, like a co-headline.
Did we do that show? Not to cut you off. Oh, was you on that show? It was me, James Davis.
Yeah, I put it together.
Yeah, that joint. That was a good show, right? That was a good show. That was good.
It was me, Jay. It was me. We should. You know what? Maybe, yeah. I mean, if you want to do something like that. But it was me, him, Tone Bell, and James Davis. And we did a show together. That show was fire.
That was good, man. That was a good show.
Yeah, that was a good show, man.
I was gonna be you, but no, go ahead.
What? Go for it.
No, I was gonna just throw some shit out.
Throw it out there.
No.
Fuck your feelings. Go for it. It's called Fuck Your Feelings. Go for it.
I was good. No, I'm good.
Are you good?
I love everybody. Okay.
Okay.
This ain't my show. You can
No. This is
you can throw out the fucked up shit in there. I'll do it on my podcast. Bro.
Nah, I wanted to. We about to get out of here. I wanted to I wanted to talk about Josh. How you're white. I'm joking.
You gotta watch him.
I want to talk about how you're white.
That's a lot, though.
You know what's crazy? I just took 3 seconds to soak in all of the negative energy. I felt it. Not that bad. No. I took it in. Yeah. Push up, whoosha. I know what that means.
I was just talking shit. Honestly, this dude fucking went through the stratosphere on TikTok. He went through.
I've seen him. We were talking. We almost would talk like once a week. He was just touching down with me, always positive energy. But I remember was that 2020?
Yeah.
I think the spring or winter 20, and I just remember he was telling me as it was happening. You know what not bothers me, but it's one of those things where you run into somebody and someone says, "Yo, man," I remember when shout Terrence Delane. Terrence Delane said,
good dude.
Out of Arizona, he said, "Hey, man, I'm finna do my barbering school." I was like, because we both cut. I was like, yeah, it's gonna take a long time. And then you look up whatever 6 years, whatever 2 years later, he's licensed, and it's the same thing with him where he's like, yo, I think it's happening. I think it's bubbling over. And you look up and the numbers are through the roof.
On TikTok?
On TikTok.
Everywhere now.
Yeah, and
Facebook. It's crazy.
Instagram, TikTok, YouTube starting. It's about to cross 1 billion views in
Damn.
18 months and 15 days.
So that's what crazy. I want you to break down. Break down what his videos are incredible, because even though he talks about his anger issues, your TikToks are so positive.
That's what I'm trying
y'all motherfuckers ain't think I was finna go there, did you?
Yeah. Well, I gotta. What are your videos like? I haven't seen them.
It's him shouting. Oh, go for it. You go
so
for
I have hidden cameras in my car, and I pull up next people, and I say, it's all positive. So I'll pull up next to two
super
people.
Dope.
Hey, excuse me, sir. You guys look like a beautiful couple. You look like a beautiful couple. I was wondering, sir, if I gave you $500 million right now, would you be willing to not talk to your wife for a year? He looks at his wife. He looks at me, and he goes, I do it for free. And then he drives away. And then it loops, and it loops, and it loops. So,
but that's just kind of, he do other ones where it's like he shouts out compliments also.
Excuse me, miss. Excuse me, miss. I think you dropped something back there. She goes, oh, really? I go, your crown, because you're a queen. So they're all.
So those are you doing those. I've seen a lot of those.
And people, it's so dope because people first they're caught off guard. They're like, what does this guy want? But then as soon as he hits them with that compliment, it's so dope because every clip of the ones I've seen, they're all in on such a great note. He's laughing, they're laughing. So it's such a positive thing, and to the point where I've seen people be excited to run into you on the street. So just to witness the thing go the way it go, what I like about it is you found your voice. That's
what it is.
That's why I don't do schedules and nothing, because I'm like, I don't know what I'm finding it now, but not to where I say you guys as the ones who've gone viral on different things, you guys have you know your niche, your social media voice. And I'm like, I don't know what that, like Tony in the animal voiceovers, like he found a nice groove. I think he found a really dope groove, man. I'm excited for you.
Now, I just want to ask this before we get out of here. What gave you that idea?
Not to get way too deep again, but pain. It was December 15th, 2020, lockdown pandemic. I was in my old building and I was in my carport, and I literally had a moment. And I remember, I don't know why I remember the head movement. I'm either going to be a success during this pandemic, or I'm going to be a failure. And I remember, I'm just going to be a success.
Want me down, I get it. Hate that I keep winning. Stab my back is tempting to all those who willing. The ones think I'm privileged. Hard work went into this. Lost friends, God bless. Cut hoes off too much stress.